Have you seen the psychological horror about an abandoned hotel? I'm in Salad and I saw Hell House LLC. It is written and directed by Stephen Cognetti. And if you haven't seen this movie, I will spoil it for you. This is requested by a Patreon. If you'd like to fast track a movie review, patreon.com/ASEPresents. On with the review. This movie starts and it's a documentary style about what happened at Hell House. It's an abandoned hotel. It's a haunted house converted from an abandoned hotel, and it's pretty spooky. Honestly, I like the way that the documentary is, because at the very beginning it's like this thing happened, some chaos happened at this haunted house, and there's like some footage of people being there, like uploaded to YouTube, and they got footage of what the chaos that happened, but not exactly what happened. And the entire movie is building up to what happened on that night that caused so many people to just start fleeing the area. Then we get a shot of the people who started Hell House. Apparently it's a chain that they've done every year. They go from one place to another place. When I say chain, I mean they've done it multiple times. It's not built on multiple locations throughout the year, but they go around and they look for places. And this one year they go to upper New York, above the city or whatever, and they find this abandoned hotel, and they're like, this is awesome, this is great, it already looks creepy, we're going to use this abandoned hotel and we're going to have the final thing be in the basement, and there's a storm door that we can have the people exit through. It'll be a fun time, right? And it's all building up to the first day of the haunted house open to the public. And while they're building it, some weird stuff happens, like the mannequins that they set there, they move unexplainably. There's like this creepy girl that appears behind the guy who's filming. His name is Paul, and Paul is filming the entire time. And what's interesting is that each character has strong characteristics. They're characters. Paul he's there. He's trying to have sex all over the place. He's trying to get laid constantly. And then we got like of the other guys, we got a girlfriend of the guy who's very business-minded, big brain, and then a couple other dudes. But those are the main characters in this ensemble. And while they're there, while they're setting up, they got there in August, and they're setting up all for the 2 months that they're there. And the closer and closer that it gets to the date, the more creepy things happen. Like, there's this mannequin that's just like standing there, and he's like, oh man, this guy's trying to scare me. And he goes back to where all the people are, and this guy who thinks is supposed to be scaring him is actually standing there. And so he goes back, and the mannequin's gone. He's like, oh my goodness, what's going on? Are you messing with me right now? Come on, man. Are you messing with me? It's kind of in the style of Blair Witch kind of dealio, where it's found footage. This place has a bunch of cameras. It seems like they can't get the cameras through the basement though, but what's interesting is they got this paid actress to just stand there and be half naked, and we also got like another guy who's big. He's dressed up in a clown costume, so if anybody tries to touch her or anything, he can go up and be like, hey, and like kick him out and all that fun jazz. So they got security for her, and it's building up to this. And I'm watching this just thinking, man, what happens at the end? Because that's what the movie is building up towards. If you like found footage type stuff, this movie is the one for you. It's a good psychological horror. It's hard for me to describe the pacing and how spooky things are without really telling you exactly what happens in the movie. You should definitely check this movie out. If you like Blair Witch or found footage type stuff, this is the one for you. Definitely better than Paranormal Activity, which uses those security cameras. They also use security cameras, but they also got like found footage done by Paul. At some point, Paul gets put into a trance. It's hard to describe what happened exactly to him, but he's in a trance, and now another guy takes care of the filming. And Paul is just in a trance forever now. It's pretty spooky. Opening day arrives. We got a big old long line. They're very excited to showcase what's going on in a haunted house. And what's interesting, I personally am not scared of haunted houses. I've been to a few, and each haunted house I I have this habit of looking around the corner or looking at where the actor would be and seeing them before they do the jump scare. And so because of that, I'm like, oh, there's a paid actor there. Okay, hello guy. I know you're not allowed to touch me or else you would get sued or something, so I'm not scared. You got all these people going through the line, they're doing all the fun jazz. And then we get a look at what happens in this hotel. See what happens. So there's like this footage, somebody who's just down there in the basement the entire time. And the woman, the paid actress, she's the only fatality. Her body turns into a skeleton. It's not shown her body getting turned into a skeleton, but it's just her body in skeleton form. It's like, oh, that's scary. If you saw this in real life, people would be scared, obviously. It's, whoa, this chick just turned into a skeleton. This woman's dead. And then everybody's going back. But they're at like the very end. Why would they not go through the storm door? I don't know why they wouldn't, but everybody's freaking out, panicking. They're all going. And then what turns out is that Paul ends up hanging himself 9 days after the incident. And everybody else is left traumatized. There's not really much clear history of what happened to these people after this incident. And I'm like, okay, that's it? Okay. All this build up for this one tiny thing? All right. I'm not really the type to be scared of haunted houses. It's a good psychological thriller, but honestly, it's pretty good. I like the setup. And then after that, I think this movie has a problem with taking too long to end, because then we're following the documentarians who decide to go to Hell House. And they go in and they're like, oh my goodness, we're in Hell House. Oh my goodness, it's such an abandoned hotel. Woo! And they go there and then one by one they get got. And the movie ends with this chick just sitting in a room alone. She turns her head and then like the shadowy figure comes towards the camera. And it's like, okay, cool, this is fun. Overall, this was a fun psychological horror. I had fun commentating on it. I felt like the character dynamics between everybody was great, and it fleshed out the horror part because of how everybody reacted to every single thing. Like, Paul thought that the people were messing with him, but it turned out to be ghosts, and nobody like believed him when he was like, oh my goodness, these are ghosts, right? Nobody believed him. And it was like the day before the opening when this like freak thing happens, like when the ghosts are most active and they're like haunting the mannequins or whatever. And they're like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. But we got some sunk cost fallacy going on here where the businessman's like, we have to do this. We got to make money. We spent 2 months on this. We're going to do it. And I'm like, oh man, if only he didn't subscribe to that sunk cost fallacy, the actress would be alive still. I think Blair Witch did it a little bit better, but I honestly like this film a lot. I would give this, it's a solid 7.2 out of 10. If you like this review, watch another one on the platform who likes that, $20 D-Notes at patreon.com/ASEPresents for 1 movie review per 1 month. Go to this link tree, it really helps with the daily grind of all the daily movies, so go here. And until next time, mint salad, I'll see you later, my sour croutons and bacon bits. Now I'm gonna go look for that abandoned hotel, and I'm gonna take a little bit of a sleep in it. Wish me luck.